Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Years of the Dragon. I'm your host, Mark Lloyd Masterson. And on this program, we talk about everything Bruce Lee. Years of the Dragon is also the title of my book, which is now available on Amazon. It is an examination of the movies that Bruce Lee might have done had he not passed away. I always wondered what he would have been able to accomplish had he not died so suddenly in July of 1973. So, as I said, it's on Amazon right now. This is the hardcover, goes for $15.99, and the soft cover sells for $12.99. So if this kind of thing interests you, there's nothing like it, I don't think, out there. So go on Amazon and have a read. Okay. So on this episode, I'm going to be discussing another couple of Bruce's movie projects that I foresaw. Um, the first one that I'm going to talk about, I entitled Jade Palace, and it's a collaboration with Raymond Chow from Golden Harvest, again, his producing partner. And this, I saw him teaming up with Jackie Chan. This would have been America's or North America's first introduction to Jackie Chan prior to the movie he did The Big Brawl that Robert Klaus, the director of End of the Dragon, did. But in this one, Jade Palace, I see Bruce having a restaurant, and the name of it is the Jade Palace. And he sends for his nephew, or his nephew comes to visit him from Hong Kong. They work out together a lot, and then a situation happens with some triads or Tong members, and they have to start fighting to defend themselves. I think it would have been great to see Bruce and Jackie on the screen together. Of course, Bruce with his menacing look and his amazing skill and electrifying speed, paired with Jackie's more comical, acting style, his acrobatics from the Chinese opera. The two of them would have been dynamite together. So I think it would have been really awesome to see them on the screen together. Another movie project that I think would have been really neat to see Bruce in is Good Guys Wear Black. Now, Good Guys Wear Black is an actual movie, so I'm cheating a little bit here. But it's with his friend Chuck Norris, who was in The Way of the Dragon with Bruce. That was his first movie, and kind of wetted his whistle, his interest for martial arts movies. But there was some rumor that Bruce had actually wanted Chuck to star in End of the Dragon and do the heavy role of O'Hara, which Bob Wall actually did, and Bob Wall was actually in The Way of the Dragon with Bruce and Chuck as well. But Chuck didn't really want to do another heavy role, or at least that's what he had told Bruce. Maybe he didn't want to get beat up by him again. I think it would have been really neat to see them in Good Guys Wear Black again. Now, if you know the movie, Chuck is a former special commando unit leader in Vietnam. And a few years after Vietnam, members of his team start being assassinated. He has to get to the bottom of before they come for him next. But there's a role in there for a major that was on his team. I think it would have been really cool if Bruce played that role instead. Now, it would have been it would have been a bad guy role and not the major role. It would have been just a smaller role for Bruce. So it would have been an easy paycheck for him. But I think it would have been really cool if Chuck asked him to do that role, and Bruce would have been returning the favor to help his friend to launch his fledgling acting career. Prior to Good Guys Wear Black, Chuck had only been in, of course, The Way of the Dragon, or as it was released in North America, Return of the Dragon. But then he did a movie called Breaker Breaker. He also did Slaughter in San Francisco, which was, I believe, through Golden Harvest, or maybe Shaw Brothers. But that one was originally titled The Yellow-Faced Tiger, and that was a movie that Raymond Chow had wanted Bruce to do with Lo Wai directing, who directed Bruce in The Big Boss and Fist of Fury. But Bruce and Lo did not get along very well, and I'll talk about that during another episode. And he leveraged his success in the other two movies to go ahead and be able to write and direct The Way of the Dragon. But that's another story for another time. But I think it would have been really cool to see Bruce as a bad guy again. He hadn't played a bad guy since his bit role in Marlowe, the 1969 Hollywood movie with James Garner. I think it would have been really cool to see him support Chuck and do that role, and it would have added a lot to the movie. Another amazing martial artist, and him and Chuck on the big screen together again. I think it would have been amazing. So think about that. But I don't want to tell you too much more. You have to buy the book. All the book includes all of these films that I'm talking about, with how the concept behind the movie, brief synopsis of them, whole cast and crew for the movie, and even how they did at the box office. But you got to buy the book. So I really appreciate everybody tuning in. If you enjoy my videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Also hit the bell, and you'll be notified whenever I post something new. Also, for those of you in the North Carolina area, I'm going to be at the Fayetteville Fan Fest on Saturday, October 18th and Sunday, October 19th, to promote my book, Years of the Dragon. So check out my book on Amazon. You'll be glad you did. And remember, be water, my friends.